The space station was silent except for the soft hum of engines. The human brothers, Daniel and Aaron, were exploring the long white corridors. They were only children, but their curiosity was endless. Every door seemed like a mystery, every sound like a hidden secret. One day the entire crew gathered near the docking bay. A new arrival was expected, and rumors were already spreading like fire. Some said it was a prisoner, some said a test subject. Others whispered that it was something dangerous. Daniel and Aaron stood on tiptoe trying to see. The heavy doors opened slowly and the air grew colder. The lights flickered, and from the shadows stepped a small figure. She was no taller than the brothers. Her skin glowed blue, her body covered in tiny crystals that looked like ice. Her ears stretched long and sharp. Her eyes were closed, but glowing tears ran down her cheeks. The crew stepped back in fear. Some muttered, "She is sick." Others said, "She is cursed." No one wanted to go near her. She was placed in a corner of the hall, sitting on a bench with her head down. Alone, shaking, glowing softly like a fading star. Daniel felt something strange in his chest. He had seen injured animals before, he had seen broken machines, but this was different. This was a child, like him, but not like him. She looked so fragile, as if one touch might shatter her into pieces. Aaron whispered, "Don't go close, they said she is dangerous." Daniel replied, "She doesn't look dangerous, she looks sad." Hours passed. The crew returned to their work, but nobody talked to her. Nobody offered food. Nobody offered comfort. It was easier to pretend she wasn't there. At night, Daniel and Aaron lay in their bunks, but neither could sleep. The image of the glowing girl stayed in their minds, her tears, her silence, her loneliness. Aaron turned to his brother. "Do you think she has a name?" Daniel whispered. "Of course she has a name. Everyone has a name. But nobody wants to ask her." The next day, things grew worse. Some crew members covered their mouths when passing by her, as if she carried a deadly disease. Others laughed, cruelly, calling her the frozen one. The girl never spoke, never moved much. She just sat there, her eyes lowered, her glow dimming a little more each day. The brothers watched quietly. Their hearts were heavy. They were told to stay away, but children have hearts that are not yet hardened. They could not stand the sight of someone so lonely. That night, the station was quiet again. Only the sound of engines echoed through the halls. Daniel woke up to a faint sound. It was not mechanical, it was not an alarm. It was softer, like crying. He shook Aaron awake. "Do you hear that?" Aaron listened, his eyes widened. "It's her." They slipped out of their bunks and crept through the cold halls. Their small footsteps echoed against the metal walls. The crying grew louder. It led them to the corner where the alien girl sat, her knees pulled close to her chest, her body glowing weakly. Daniel's heart pounded. He wanted to speak, but his mouth felt dry. Finally, he whispered, "Hello." The girl lifted her head slowly. Her glowing eyes met theirs. For a moment, silence filled the hall. Aaron felt his knees shake, but Daniel took a step closer. The girl didn't move. She didn't speak, but tears sparkled on her icy cheeks. Daniel said softly, "Don't cry. We are not afraid of you." The girl tilted her head as if trying to understand. Aaron added nervously, Are you in pain?" No answer. Only her glowing fingers trembled. She reached out a hand, blue light spilling from her fingertips. The brothers stared, breathless. Daniel hesitated, then slowly stretched out his hand too. Aaron grabbed his arm, whispering, "Don't. What if she is sick?" But Daniel's eyes were steady. "She's not sick. She's alone." And then, for the first time, their hands almost touched. A soft light passed between them, not cold, not burning, just alive. But at that very moment, alarms blared across the station. Red lights flashed, sirens echoed through the halls. The boys jumped back in shock. The girl gasped, covering her face. Daniel and Aaron froze, hearts racing. Were they caught? Did they do something wrong? The loud voice of the captain thundered over the speakers. Warning. Energy surge detected in Sector 3. All units investigate immediately. And the brothers realized with fear. Sector 3 was where they stood. The red lights flashed. Across the walls, sirens screamed through the space station. The two brothers stood frozen, their hands only inches from the glowing alien girl. Daniel's heart pounded so hard he thought the crew might hear it. Aaron grabbed his arm, whispering, "We have to go, they will find us here." But the girl sat trembling, her body glowing brighter. Streams of light ran across her arms. She looked terrified, not dangerous. Her lips moved, but no sound came out, as if she wanted to speak but could not. Heavy footsteps echoed down the corridor. The crew was coming. Daniel made a quick choice. He pulled Aaron's sleeve. "Hide." The boys ducked behind a stack of supply crates just as 3 officers rushed in. Their eyes went straight to the alien child. "Energy spike confirmed," one said sharply. Another scanned her with a device, shaking his head. "Unstable. She should be locked down." The girl hugged her knees tighter, glowing more brightly as the scanner beeped. The officer muttered, "Dangerous little creature." They moved closer, but none of them touched her. They seemed afraid. Finally, the captain's voice boomed through their radios. "Leave her there. We'll monitor the levels. Do not engage directly." The officers nodded and left, boots pounding against the floor until the hall grew silent again. Daniel and Aaron peeked out. Their eyes met, and without words, they both knew. She wasn't dangerous. She was scared. Daniel stepped out first, his voice soft but steady. "Don't be afraid, we won't hurt you." The girl's glowing eyes lifted. For a long moment she only stared. Then, very slowly, she stretched out her trembling hand again. Aaron hesitated, his fear battling his curiosity. But Daniel moved closer. He remembered how lonely she looked, how no one spoke to her. He knelt down, his small hand reaching, their fingers touched. A wave of cold rushed through Daniel's arm, but it wasn't painful, it was sharp. Clean, like dipping into fresh snow. For a moment everything was quiet. The alarms, the fear, the whispers, it all disappeared. The girl's lips parted. A tiny broken word escaped. "Hello." Daniel's eyes widened. He turned to Aaron. "She can speak." Aaron blinked in shock. He crouched beside his brother. "Can you understand us?" The girl nodded weakly. Her voice cracked like ice breaking. "I try." It was the first time she had spoken since arriving. Her voice was fragile but filled with hope. Daniel smiled. "I'm Daniel. This is my brother Aaron. What's your name?" The girl hesitated. Her glowing fingers clutched her chest as if holding something precious. Finally she whispered, "Lena. Lena." Daniel repeated softly, "That's beautiful." For the first time, the alien girl, Lena, smiled. It was small and uncertain, but it was real. The brothers sat with her, whispering so the crew wouldn't hear. They asked questions, and Lena answered slowly. Broken words, but enough to understand. She told them she was cold all the time, that her body leaked light she couldn't control. Aaron asked, "Does it hurt?" Lena lowered her head. "Sometimes, but more. Alone hurts more." The word struck the brothers like a blade. They realized her pain wasn't only physical. It was the loneliness crushing her every day. For the next few nights, the brothers snuck out of their bunks, bringing food, warm blankets, and small toys. Lena accepted everything with wide, glowing eyes, holding on to each gift as if it was treasure. They laughed together quietly, Daniel teaching her simple human words, Aaron showing her how to play with a spinning top. For the first time, the cold halls felt alive, but their secret couldn't last forever. One morning, as the boys left Lena's side, a shadow fell over them. It was Officer Merrick, a tall man with sharp eyes. He crossed his arms. "What are you two doing here?" Aaron stammered. Nothing, sir." But Merrick's gaze slid to Lena, his lip curled. "So it's true. The children are playing with the cursed one." Lena shrank back, her glow dimming. Daniel stepped in front of her, fists clenched. "She's not cursed, she's just like us." Merrick barked a laugh. "Like us? That thing nearly overloaded the reactor with her energy surge. She's a danger to all of us." The officer leaned closer, his shadow swallowing them. Stay away from her, or you'll be locked in quarters, do you understand? Daniel's chest tightened. Aaron pulled at his arm, but he stood firm. His voice shook but didn't break. No, she needs us. Merrick's eyes hardened. For a moment it seemed he might drag them away, but finally, he turned sharply. Fine. Disobey if you want. When she brings disaster, don't come crying. With that he stormed off, boots echoing down the hall. Silence returned. The boys turned back to Lena. Her face was pale, her glow faint. She whispered, I make trouble, you leave me. Daniel shook his head fiercely. No, we won't leave you ever. Aaron nodded, though his hands trembled. You're our friend now. Lena's eyes filled with tears, but this time they were not only sad. They shimmered with something new. Hope. The three sat together in the quiet hall, the bond between them stronger than the warnings, stronger than the fear, but deep inside, Daniel knew the danger was real. The crew wouldn't accept Lena. The captain wouldn't protect her. If anyone found out what she really was, things could get worse. And in the far distance, unseen by them, the scanners on the bridge flashed red again. Her energy levels were rising, alarms would sound once more, and next time the crew might not ignore it. The days on the space station passed slowly, but for Daniel and Aran, something had changed. They no longer felt bored in the endless gray corridors. They had a secret now, a secret that made their hearts race with both fear and excitement. Every night, when the rest of the crew slept, the brothers sneaked out of their bunks. They tiptoed past the closed doors, past the blinking lights, until they reached the corner where Lena sat. Her blue glow was weaker now, but when she saw them, her eyes always lit up. At first, their meetings were short, a quick hello, a quiet laugh. But soon they began to stay longer. Daniel brought her scraps of food from the mess hall. Aaron carried a small blanket he had hidden from the laundry. Lena accepted everything carefully, as if afraid it would be taken away, so, night, Daniel sat cross-legged on the floor beside her, holding a small tablet. He showed her pictures of Earth, green forests, blue oceans, tall mountains. This is where we come from, he said proudly. One day we'll go back. Lena touched the glowing screen with trembling fingers. Her eyes widened. Beautiful, she whispered. Her voice was stronger now, still broken but clearer. Aaron leaned in. Have you ever seen your home? Lena's smile faded. She looked down at her hands. The light on her skin flickered. My home left me. The words cut the air like a knife. Daniel and Aaron exchanged a glance. They wanted to ask more, but her face was so full of pain they stayed silent. Instead, Daniel pointed at the tablet again. Then this can be your home too. You can stay with us. Lena's eyes shimmered with tears, but she said nothing. The boys decided they would not let her feel alone. They told her stories. Funny ones about chasing each other through the station. Scary ones about dark corners where shadows seemed alive. Lena listened with wide eyes, laughing softly. Sometimes she even added her own tiny stories, words broken but full of strange beauty. As days turned into weeks, Lena grew stronger, her voice steadier, her laugh brighter. She learned human words faster. She even tried to teach the brothers some alien sounds from her language. Aaron struggled and always made her giggle. Daniel tried harder, and though he failed, Lena always smiled at the effort, but it wasn't only laughter. The brothers also noticed strange things. Sometimes Lena's body would flicker with too much light. Her hands would shake as if she couldn't hold the energy inside. Once, when Aaron touched her hand, a sharp sting of frost burned his skin. He pulled back, gasping. Lena looked horrified. I'm sorry, she whispered, tears forming. But Daniel shook his head quickly. It's okay. It didn't hurt much. Aaron rubbed his hand, still red. What's happening to you? Lena closed her eyes. Her voice was almost too soft to hear. Not sick, broken. My body too small for power inside if too much leaves. I fade. The brothers froze. The meaning was clear. If she lost too much energy, she would die. Daniel's chest tightened. He had thought she was lonely, cursed by others. But now he understood her battle was worse. She was fighting her own body every single day, Aaron whispered. Can't the doctors help? Lena shook her head. They don't want to. They fear me. Daniel clenched his fists. He hated the way the crew treated her. He hated that no one even tried to help. Then we'll help you. We'll find a way, he said firmly. Lena looked at him with wide eyes as if no one had ever spoken such words to her. Slowly, she smiled. From then on, the brothers tried everything. They gave her more food, thinking it might strengthen her. They made her laugh, hoping joy could keep her light steady. They even tried to build a small device with spare parts, though it mostly sparked and broke. Lena giggled at their efforts, but she never stopped. Thanking them, yet danger grew closer. The crew began to notice changes. An officer remarked, "Strange, the frozen one looks healthier. Did someone tamper with her?" Another muttered, "I swear I saw the children near her corner." The whispers spread, suspicion building. One evening, while the brothers sat with Lena sharing stories, a shadow loomed behind them. Officer Merrick, his eyes sharp, his arms crossed. He smirked. "So this is the secret." Daniel jumped up, standing between Merrick and Lena. "Leave her alone." Merrick sneered. "Brave words for a boy. Do you even know what she is? That thing is a ticking bomb. When she explodes, you'll regret your kindness." Lena flinched, her glow dimming. Aaron grabbed Daniel's sleeve, whispering, "Don't fight him." But Daniel shook his head. His voice was steady. "She's not a bomb. She's our friend." Merrick's eyes narrowed. "Friend? She's a danger. I'll report this to the captain." He turned and marched away, his voice echoing in the hall. Lena buried her face in her hands, trembling. "I bring trouble. You will be punished. Better you forget me." Daniel knelt, lifting her hands gently. "No, we won't forget you. You are not trouble. You are family now." Aaron nodded quickly, though fear shone in his eyes. "We're not leaving you." For the first time, Lena cried openly in front of them, glowing tears sliding down her icy cheeks, but these tears were different. They carried relief, trust, hope. The three of them sat together in the quiet, holding onto a bond stronger than fear, stronger than rules, yet far above, in the captain's private quarters. Officer Merrick's voice spoke coldly. "The children are interfering. The alien is growing stronger. If we don't act soon, she could endanger us all." The captain's reply was grave. "Then perhaps it's time we consider removing her." The space station was a giant metal shell floating in the dark. For the brothers, it had always felt safe. But ever since Lena arrived, the air seemed different. The corridors felt colder, and whispers filled every corner. The crew began to watch the children more closely. Whenever Daniel or Aaron walked by, voices would follow. "Those boys are always near the frozen one. They'll catch her sickness too. They don't understand the danger." The brothers kept their secret meetings with Lena, but the risk grew heavier. Every time they walked toward her corner, they felt eyes burning into their backs. One morning, Captain Rourke called the crew together. His face was grim, his voice sharp. "The alien child is unstable," he announced. "She is not safe. Her presence is a risk to this station, and I will not allow danger under my command." Lena stood in the corner, trembling, her glow faint as if her light was shrinking from fear. No one stood beside her. Only Daniel and Aaron wanted to, but their father's warning echoed in their minds. "Stay quiet or be punished." The captain's eyes swept the room. "Do not approach her, do not speak to her. If she loses control, we may all pay the price." The meeting ended, but the fear did not. Instead, it grew. The crew avoided Lena completely. They walked around her as if she carried death in her hands. Some even left food far from her corner, dropping it like scraps for a wild animal. Daniel clenched his fists. He wanted to shout at them, but Aaron pulled him back, whispering, "Not now. We'll only make it worse." That night, the brothers returned to Lena. She sat curled up on the bench, arms around her knees, her glow flickering weakly. Daniel whispered, "Don't listen to them, they don't know you." Aaron added, "You're not dangerous, you're our friend." Lena looked at them with tear-filled eyes. Her voice broke. But maybe. They are right, maybe I am danger. Daniel shook his head. No, you're not danger. You're lonely. That's different. For a while, silence wrapped around them. Only the hum of the engines filled the air. Then Lena whispered, "If I lose control, will you still stay?" The brothers didn't hesitate, they both nodded. Daniel said firmly, "Yes, we stay. Always." The words seemed to warm her. Her glow softened, steadier. For the first time in days, she smiled. But peace never lasted long. 2 nights later, a sudden alarm blared through the halls. "Warning! Energy spike detected!" The computer's voice echoed. Red lights flashed. Crew members ran toward the control room. Daniel and Aaron knew instantly. "It's her," Aaron whispered. His stomach twisted with fear. They sprinted down the corridor, past the rushing crew, until they reached her corner. Lena was on the floor, glowing too brightly. Her hands pressed against her chest, her whole body shaking. "It hurts," she gasped. Daniel dropped beside her. "Stay with us, Lena. Breathe. You can control it." Aaron held her arm carefully, though frost stung his skin. "We're here. You're not alone." The glow pulsed, wildly filling the corridor with blue light. The air grew icy, breath turned to mist. Crew members stopped in shock, gasping at the sight. "Contain her," Officer Merrick shouted, "before she destroys us all." 2 guards rushed forward, carrying restraints. Daniel leaped in front of Lena, spreading his arms wide. "No, don't touch her," Aaron shouted too. "She's not doing this on purpose. She needs help." The guards hesitated, but Merrick's voice cut like a blade. "She's a threat, take her now," Lena whimpered, pulling back, her eyes wide with terror. The glow grew brighter, ice crawling across the floor. The crew panicked, some slipping as frost spread. The captain's voice thundered over the intercom. "Enough. Secure her immediately." Daniel's heart pounded. He knew if they took Lena, she would never return. She would be locked away, studied, maybe even destroyed. He grabbed her trembling hand, ignoring the freezing sting. "Lena, look at me. You're safe. We believe in you." Aaron joined, his voice shaking but strong. "We're your friends. Don't let them take you. Fight it. Hold on." Lena's eyes locked onto theirs. Her breathing slowed. The wild glow softened, the frost stopped spreading. Slowly, painfully, her body calmed. The crew froze in shock, staring at the 2 human boys who had done what no machine or officer could do. Merrick snarled, "This is foolish. She's still dangerous. The council must be told." But whispers spread among the crew. The boys stopped. Her. They calmed her down. "Maybe she isn't cursed after all." The captain's voice came again, colder than before. "Enough. Officer Merrick is right. This cannot continue. The alien will be reported to the council at once." Daniel's stomach dropped. Aaron's face went pale. They both knew what the council's study really meant. Lena would be taken and she would never be free. As the guard stepped forward once more, Lena clutched Daniel's sleeve, her glowing eyes wide with fear. "Don't let them," she begged. Daniel's mind raced. Aaron's hands shook. The crew's fear was against them. The captain's command was final. The council's power was absolute. But in their hearts, the brothers knew one thing. They could not let her go. The order had been given. The captain's voice echoed through the intercom. Lena would be reported to the council. For Daniel and Aaron, those words felt like a death sentence. They had heard stories of the Galactic Council, cold men and women who ruled with fear and science. The council did not see people. They only saw weapons or problems to be solved, and, for Lena, it meant only one thing. She would be taken, locked away, and studied until nothing remained. That night, Daniel and Aaron returned to her corner. She was shaking, her blue glow faint. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "They take me, I vanish." Daniel sat beside her, anger burning in his chest. "No, we won't let them." Aaron nodded, though fear pulled at his words. "We'll protect you." For a long time they sat in silence. The hum of the station filled, the air like a heavy weight. Finally, Lena spoke. "You must know truth, before you risk all." The boys leaned closer. Lena's trembling hands lifted. A soft blue mist swirled around her. She closed her eyes, and for the first time, she showed them what lived inside her. The light spread across the walls, images forming in the air like memories painted in flame and frost. They saw a world of crystal towers, skies glowing with colors no human eye had ever seen. Her people were tall and radiant, bodies glowing like living stars. But among them was Lena, small, trembling. Her light too strong, too wild. The other children avoided her. The elders watched her with cold eyes. Finally, her people gathered and made their decision. She was too dangerous. They sent her away, abandoned her to the void. The vision faded. Lena opened her eyes, glowing tears sliding down her face. "Not sick," she whispered. "Not cursed. Only too much. My body cannot hold the power. My people fear me." Daniel and Aaron sat frozen. The truth was heavier than they imagined. Lena was not weak. She was powerful, so powerful that even her own kind rejected her, Aaron whispered. "So that's why the alarms go off, that's why they think you're dangerous," Lena nodded. "Yes, my core leaks. If too much escapes, I fade. Or explode." The word explode hung in the air like a knife. Daniel's hands tightened into fists. "You're not a danger. You're a miracle. They don't see it, but we do." Aaron nodded quickly. "You're not a curse. You're special." For the first time, Lena looked at them without shame, her glowing eyes filled with hope. "Special," she repeated softly, tasting the word like something new. But outside their corner, the station buzzed with tension. Officers whispered about the council's message. The captain received a reply. A council ship was on its way. Lena would be collected within days. Officer Merrick walked the halls with a cruel smile, spreading fear among the crew. "Soon the frozen one will be gone," he said loudly, "and we'll all be safe." Some nodded in agreement, others stayed silent, but no one dared to challenge him. Daniel and Aaron, however, knew time was running out. That night, as the three sat together, Aaron whispered, "We have to think of something. If the council takes you, it's over." Daniel's jaw tightened. "Then we won't let them take her." Lena shook her head. "You cannot fight them. They are strong. They will punish you." Daniel leaned closer, his eyes fierce. "We don't care. You're our friend. Your family. We'll find a way." The determination in his voice made Lena tremble. Her glow flickered, not from fear, but from emotion. No one had ever spoken for her like this. No one had ever chosen her over safety. The next day, the crew noticed something strange. Lena's glow was steadier, brighter. She walked with her head lifted slightly higher. She was still quiet, still fragile, but there was strength in her steps now. Whispers spread again, but this time they were different. Why does she look stronger? Maybe she isn't sick after all. I saw the boys with her again. They're not afraid. Fear remained, but doubt began to creep into their hearts. When the captain heard the reports, his face darkened. The children are influencing her. This cannot continue. He ordered Lena to be confined to a secure chamber until the council arrived. Guards moved toward her, but once again Daniel and Aaron stepped in front of her. Daniel shouted, "You can't take her away. She's not a prisoner," Aaron added. "She's alive. She's our friend." The guards hesitated, their hands trembled. For a moment they remembered how the boys had calmed her when no one else could. But orders were orders. Lena clutched Daniel's sleeve, her voice trembling. "Don't let them." Daniel's mind raced, his heart thundered. He had no plan, no weapon, only his words. He shouted so the entire hall could hear. "She is not sick, she is powerful, she is not a curse, she is hope." The crew gasped, whispers rising. Even some officers looked uneasy, but Merrick's voice cut through like a blade. "Hope? She is a danger. You children are blind, and your foolishness will kill us all." He stepped forward, raising his arm to seize Lena. But before he could touch her, her body glowed brighter than ever. A wave of frost spread across the floor. Ice crackled up the walls. The air turned sharp and biting. Merrick stumbled back, his breath turning to mist. The crew panicked, shouting, "Contain her! Contain her!" But Daniel and Aaron stood firm, gripping her hands tightly, shouting together, "Lena, you're not alone, control it, we believe in you." Her eyes widened, glowing tears falling. Slowly the frost stopped, the light dimmed, her breathing steadied, the hall fell silent. The crew stared, shaken. They had seen her power, but also the bond she shared with the human brothers. The captain's voice came over the intercom, low and dangerous. "Enough. The council will decide her fate. Prepare for their arrival." Daniel and Aaron exchanged a look, their hearts heavy but unbroken. The truth of Lena's power was clear now. She was more than anyone understood, and if the council took her, she would never be free. They had little time left. The days that followed were filled with tension. Every corner of the station seemed colder, every whisper heavier. The council ship was on its way, and everyone knew what that meant. Lena would be taken. Daniel and Aaron could barely sleep. Whenever they closed their eyes, they saw Lena's glowing face. Afraid and alone inside some cold council lab, the thought made Daniel's stomach twist in anger. Aaron's hands trembled whenever he imagined it. One night, the brothers crept out of their bunks and rushed to Lena's corner. She sat there quietly, her glow dim. Her eyes lifted when she saw them, and for the first time her smile was weak, not bright. "They take me soon," she whispered. Her voice cracked. This time, no escape. Daniel shook his head fiercely. "No, we won't let them," Aaron added quickly. "We'll think of something. We have to." But the truth weighed heavy on them. What could two human children do against the Galactic Council? Against soldiers and ships? Still, Daniel's heart refused to surrender. He leaned closer, whispering, "Then we'll run. We'll escape this place." Lena blinked in shock. Escape? But the council, the captain, the guards. Aaron's voice shook, but his eyes were steady. "We'll find a way, we're small, we can move where they can't, we know the station better than most." Daniel nodded, his voice low and full of fire. "We just need a plan." For the next days they watched, listened, and learned. The crew was focused on preparing for the council ship, stocking supplies, securing docking bays, running checks. Nobody paid attention to two curious children, wandering the halls. The brothers studied the guard shifts, which doors stayed locked, which hallways stayed empty. They discovered that an old cargo bay had a small service hatch that opened into the outer decks. It was rarely used, most had forgotten it existed. But the brothers remembered. It was their secret hiding spot during games. "If we can reach that hatch," Daniel whispered one night, drawing a crude map on the floor with a piece of metal, "we can slip to the hangar bay, then maybe steal a small shuttle." Aaron frowned, fear tugging at his face. "Steal a shuttle? We don't even know how to fly it." Daniel smirked, though his voice shook too. "We'll figure it out, we don't have a choice." Lena listened silently, her eyes wide. At last she whispered, "Dangerous. For you, if they catch you, punishment worse than me." Daniel turned to her, his voice steady. "It doesn't matter. We won't let them take you." Aaron added softly, "Family doesn't leave family." The words hit Lena's heart like light breaking through darkness. For the first time since she had been abandoned, she felt something warm inside her chest, belonging. But danger was closing in. The council ship would arrive within 2 days. The captain doubled the guards around Lena. She was moved from her corner to a secure chamber, a cold metal room with no windows. Only the brothers dared to visit her, sneaking past cameras with clever tricks and small lies. Inside the chamber, Lena sat curled on the floor, her glow dimmer than ever. Daniel crouched beside her, whispering, "Hold on, we have a plan. Tomorrow night, we'll take you out of here." Aaron nodded, sliding a piece of bread into her hands. "We'll get you to safety." Lena's glowing eyes filled with tears. She wanted to believe them, she wanted to trust. And so she whispered the only word she could, "Hope." The next night, the plan began. The station slept under the cold hum of engines. Guards walked their patrols, but the brothers moved in the shadows. hearts pounding. They reached the chamber. Using a small tool Iran had stolen to unlock the door, it clicked open with a soft hiss. Inside, Lena gasped, her eyes wide. "You came." Daniel grabbed her hand. "We promised." They slipped into the dark halls, every step filled with danger. The hum of cameras followed them, the faint sound of guards echoed. Every corner felt like a trap. Finally, they reached the cargo bay. Daniel pushed open the old hatch, dust spilling down. Behind it was the narrow, crawl space, cold and silent. "Go," he whispered. "Hurry." One by one, they crawled through, Daniel first, Lena in the middle, Aaron behind. The space was tight, their breathing loud. Lena trembled, but the brothers whispered encouragement. At last, they reached the hangar bay. Small shuttles rested like sleeping birds in the dark. Daniel's heart leaped. We made it. But as they stepped onto the floor, a voice boomed. "Stop right there." The lights flared on, blinding. Officers poured into the hangar, led by Merrick. His grin was sharp and cruel. "Did you really think you could escape, little heroes?" Daniel's stomach dropped. Aaron froze. Lena gasped. The plan had been discovered. Merrick stepped forward, his voice dripping with triumph. "The captain suspected your foolish games. We've been watching, and now it ends." Guards surrounded them, weapons raised. The brothers stood in front of Lena, arms spread wide. Daniel shouted, "You can't take her." Aaron added, "She's not your prisoner." Merrick sneered, "She belongs to the council now, and you two will be locked away for this rebellion." Lena's glow began to flare, her fear and despair twisting inside her. The air grew cold, frost. Crawling across the floor, the guard stepped back nervously. Merrick raised his hand to strike, but before he could, the hangar shook violently. A loud alarm blared. "Warning, incoming ship detected." The council ship had arrived. The hangar shook as the council ship docked. Its engines roared like thunder. Metal groaned against metal. Red lights flashed across the bay. Daniel and Aaron clutched Lena's hands. Their hearts raced. They had tried to escape, but now the council was here. Officer Merrick's grin widened. "Perfect timing. The council will see your little monster themselves." His eyes glinted with victory. Guards tightened their circle around the children. Weapons ready, Lena trembled. Her glow grew sharper. The air grew icy cold. Frost spread across the floor. Aaron's breath turned white in the freezing air. Daniel whispered quickly, "Lena, don't be afraid. We're here. We won't let them take you." But Lena's fear only grew. The council ship's doors opened, and tall figures stepped into the hangar. They wore long silver uniforms, their faces hidden behind glass helmets. They looked less like people and more like shadows of power. The leader stepped forward. His voice echoed through a speaker, cold and sharp. "Bring the specimen," Lena gasped. Her glow flared brighter. Daniel shouted, "She's not a specimen, she's a child." Aaron's voice cracked with fear. "She's our friend." The council ignored them. The guards hesitated, but Merrick barked, "Do as ordered." 2 guards moved closer. But before they could touch Lena, her body erupted with light. A wave of blue energy blasted outward. Ice cracked across the floor. Machines froze in place. The guards stumbled back, their weapons dropping. Everyone froze. In terror, the hangar was silent except for the sound of Lena's trembling breath. Her eyes glowed like burning stars. Her small body shook with power she could no longer hold. Daniel and Aaron stood firm, holding her hands tightly. Daniel shouted, "Lena, look at us. You're not alone. You can control it." Aaron's voice broke. "We believe in you. Don't let them take you away." Her glowing eyes turned toward them. Tears shimmered down her cheeks. For a moment, the wild power slowed. The ice stopped spreading. Her light softened. But the council leader raised his hand. "Unstable. Dangerous. She must be contained. Prepare the nullifier." 2 soldiers stepped forward, carrying a heavy black device. Sparks crackled from it, designed to drain energy from living beings. Daniel's heart pounded. If they used that machine on Lena, she would be gone. He leaped in front of her, arms spread wide. "No, you can't take her," Aaron joined, shouting. "She's not your prisoner, she's family." The council soldiers ignored them. The device hummed louder, ready to fire. Lena's fear turned to desperation. Her glow exploded once more. The entire hangar shook. Frost raced up the walls, crystals spread across the floor. The soldiers slipped and fell, alarm screamed. Merrick shouted, "See, she's going to destroy us all." But Daniel refused to step back. He held Lena's icy hand tighter, ignoring the burning cold. He cried out, "You're not a monster, Lena. You're not dangerous. You're loved." Aaron added, tears in his eyes, "We're your brothers. We'll never leave you. Please trust us." Something changed. Lena's trembling slowed. Her glow steadied. The ice stopped spreading. She looked at them with wide, tear-filled eyes, whispering a single word: family. The wild energy bent, pulling inward. Her body glowed like a star, but no longer out of control. The air warmed, the frost melted. Slowly, the hangar grew quiet again. The crew and the council stood frozen, their weapons lowered, their eyes wide with shock. The two human boys had done what no machine or soldier could: calmed her, controlled her power. The council leader's voice crackled through his speaker, uncertain now. "Impossible." Merrick snarled, anger burning on his face. "Don't you see? She's still a threat. End this now." But the council soldiers hesitated. Their eyes flicked between Lena and the boys, between fear and awe. Finally, one of them spoke. "Perhaps she is not a danger. Perhaps she is a miracle." The leader paused, then lowered his hand slowly. His voice was quieter. "The child is stable. Because of them, humanity's bond with her is strong. She will remain under their care." "The crew gasped. Merrick's face twisted with rage. "You can't be serious. She'll doom us all." But the leader silenced him with a single look. "Enough. The council has spoken." Daniel and Aaron held Lena close. Relief flooded their hearts. She was safe. For now, she was free. Lena whispered, her voice weak but full of joy. "I stay with you." The boys nodded, smiling through tears. "Always," Daniel said. Aaron added softly, "We're family now." For the first time, Lena's smile was bright and unbroken. Her glow no longer looked like sickness. It looked like life. The council ship departed. The hangar slowly returned to order. The crew watched from a distance, whispering. Their fear had not vanished, but doubt had taken root. Perhaps the alien girl was not a curse after all. Perhaps she was something greater. In the quiet that followed, Daniel, Aaron, and Lena sat together, holding hands. The galaxy had rejected her. Her people had abandoned her. But humanity, through two brave brothers, had given her a home. And deep inside, in that quiet moment, a promise was made. Whatever dangers came next, they would face them together. The end. Or perhaps only the beginning.